Good news for hard-pressed shoppers as big promotional drives have helped to slow down rising prices at the tills. I'll have more later.
A lot of talk in the speech, of course, about business and about the economy, of course. It's right at the top of the agenda.
It is completely. Everything we're talking about is still about banks. It's still about how we can get growth, because of course we're still in recession. How we can get jobs. I mean, employment figures are starting to go up, but it's about how we maintain that and get it back on track to where it was a few years ago. And actually, quite a lot of the papers are talking about that, particularly about banks. Morning, everyone. You can see in the Guardian here that the European Union has announced proposals that would force banks to separate their risky trading activities from their high street operations. And this is the latest effort to try and prevent a return of that 2008 banking crisis, which is, of course, what got us all into trouble in the first place, and what Mr Miliband will be hoping we can get away from. Supermarkets, big day for supermarkets today. We've got results out from Tesco and Sainsbury's, and the Telegraph is saying that they're likely to not be particularly great results. We're going to have the chief executive of Tesco on later. They're expected to report a fall in profits, in their group profits, which will be the first time for 18 years. One other little story as well. This is about have you ever been to eat all you can buffets?
Yes.
Right, so businesses run them because obviously they charge a premium of around, you know, £12, £15. You can eat whatever you can. Two men have been banned from one now because they've eaten so much in them. Two pals have been banned from life because for 2 years they regularly ate 5 bowls of food at this restaurant in Brighton, and apparently the manager one day, he just had enough of them. Went over to them, kicked off at the table, and they're not allowed back in.
Does it say the nature of the food they were eating?
Stir fries.
It's Chinese, was it?
Yeah, it was Chinese food. Yeah, and apparently
because, of course, the trouble with Chinese food is once you've eaten a Chinese meal, you want to have another Chinese meal. In some
little insight about your life, you didn't know that?
I have been,
more than one
I have been
Chinese?
known to frequent a Chinese all-you-can-eat, and in some they do say just one plate.
Yeah, well, be careful, because if you start eating 4 or 5 plates, you might find yourself banned.
I'll just keep it to the 2
where you
then.
See people having it stacked sort of up to here, don't you? Just
with the
one plate, but
techniques, with the prawn crackers around the outside.
With cucumbers, isn't there? You use cucumbers as a wall barrier around your plate.
Steph, more with you later on. Thank you very much.
17 minutes.
It's all about shopping today.
It is, yeah. Big day for the retailers. Tesco and Sainsbury's have both got results out, and I'll have those at 7 a.m. this morning. Good morning, everyone. Yes, we're expecting to hear this morning that Tesco's group profits have fallen for the first time in 18 years. One of the big reasons for this is the discounting that's been going on in the shops. And today, the British Retail Consortium has reported that shop promotions are helping to ease the squeeze on consumer purses. And because of this, overall shop price inflation slowed to 1.1% from 1.1% last month. Not much of a fall, to be honest, but still a bit of good news for shoppers. And with me now is someone who knows a lot about retail. He's been the manager at both Asda and Safeway supermarkets. It's retail analyst Phil Durrell. Good morning to you,
Good morning, Steph.
So lots of discounting going on in the supermarkets. Do you think that's made much of a difference?
I think it's made a difference to the shoppers, certainly. I think that we've seen the promotional expenditure in the supermarkets grow over the last few years as people are trying to buy those sales. So certainly customers are getting a good deal. Whether it's making a difference to the bottom line of supermarkets, I'd have to question. I think that buying sales is never a great thing.
Because it obviously reduces their margins. And is it likely to continue then?
I think it will continue, yeah. I think that inevitably as you get this sort of semi-price war going on between some of the big players, you'll see people being more aggressive with promotions, suppliers being put under squeeze to deliver those promotions. You know, it's all great for customers, and you know, they can shop and be more promiscuous as they have been, but inevitably it hits the bottom line of the retailers.
No, we're always talking about the big four: Asda, Morrison's, Tesco and Sainsbury's, but now we've got the likes of Aldi saying they're going to double the number of stores in the UK, and Waitrose doing particularly well. They're at either end of the spectrum, aren't they? What's going on there?
Well, I think Waitrose have got a unique place in the market. They clearly have taken the quality end of the market and really owned it, delivering great stores. And to be fair, it's a superb shopping experience, and they've recognised who their customer is and delivered for it over a number of years. Aldi very much similar. They recognise who their customer is. They have a very limited offer with reference to the ranging that they have, but their stores are pretty good.
And Tesco obviously losing market share. What do they need to do to win people back?
I think that you know, we work with a lot of retailers on delivering vision and understanding exactly what their customers want. And I think the big thing that Tesco need to do is stop playing tactical moves within the marketplace. Take a step back, look objectively at what they're doing from a marketing and customer experience point of view, and deliver that over a 5-year plan.
OK, thank you very much for your time, Phil. I'm going to be talking to the Chief Executive of Tesco a bit later in the programme, about 10 to 8, with the results a bit later.
Right, so if you've got questions for...
Good morning. Any moment now we'll be getting the latest results from supermarket giants Sainsbury's and Tesco. We're expecting to hear that Tesco profits have fallen for the first time in 18 years. I'll have the details shortly.
What detail have we got, Steph?
Well, the profits have gone down to £1.7 billion, and it's for the first 6 months from August the 25th. Now, Tesco's been in quite a bit of trouble recently. It announced at the beginning of the year that it was going to have its profits warning, that profits were going to fall. They got a new chief executive, Philip Clark. He unveiled this big plan to invest £1 billion into revamping and putting love, what he called love, back into the stores. Also, we've seen their share price fall about 15%. It's 15% lower since the start of the year, so it's had a tough time. It's lost some of its market share to some of its rivals as well. We're going to be talking to the Chief Executive, Philip Clark, a bit later about all of this and what they're hoping to do. We have seen that sales improve slightly, but it's hitting their margins because they're discounting so much in the shops at the moment.
So you have an interview with the Chief Executive of Tesco this morning, live on
Yes,
Breakfast, yeah?
At 10 to 8.
Lovely, thanks, Steph.
Yes, good morning to you both. Tesco results just out this morning. Not great, I have to say. Good morning, everyone. Yes, Tesco is the world's third largest retailer, and it's just reported a fall in profits for the first time in 18 years. Its group pre-tax profits are down 12% to £1.7 billion. It's been a difficult period for Tesco. Back in January, their shares fell 16% in one day after disappointing sales figures and a profit warning. But the boss is trying to turn things round, and we can talk to him now. Philip Clark joined us from the London Stock Exchange. Good morning to you, Philip.
Good morning.
Profits are down and you're underperforming your rivals in terms of sales growth. Why do you think that is?
Well, you know, back in April, we set out a plan to put that right. We're investing £1 billion. In the first 6 months, we've put 8,000 new colleagues into our existing stores, relaunched 2,000 products. You know, we're busy making improvements that our customers will notice, and we think that, you know, in the medium term they're going to reward us with more trade.
So how long do you think it will be before we see these results then? Because you say you want to put some love back in the stores. How do you envisage the customer experience changing then in, let's say, a few months or a year's time?
Well, it all starts with products that are on the shelves, and they're improving. We've relaunched our in-store bakeries. We're relaunching our whole meat category. We've relaunched our chilled ready meals, putting more quality in, putting more better ingredients in, presenting them better in the stores, and having them looked after by our colleagues that have been very busy getting new training. So in answer to your question, how long will it take? In Q2, our sales went positive like-for-like for the first time in 6 quarters here in the UK. Only very tiny, but positive nonetheless. And we hope to see that continue, that trend to continue. There's a long way to go for Tesco, though, here in the UK.
You have done a lot of discounting and coupons throughout the store over the last year or so. Are you still going to continue with that? Because it sounds like from what you're saying, this plan is about the customer experience rather than prices.
Well, it's very, very competitive, the UK market. You know, we're all reacting to the fact that consumers are really having a hard time. Fuel prices at an all-time high, real earnings not growing, uncertainties, doubts about the future. So massively competitive, good for consumers. Couponing is very high. Actually, in our first half, our coupons issued are the same as they were in the first half of last year, but they're much more targeted, much more personalised. We're using the insight we gain from Clubcard to mail and email directly our customers with discounts, you know, specifically for them, because we're most interested in making sure our customers get a good deal in these difficult times.
But yet you've been losing customers, you've been losing market share to some of your rivals. We've heard from the likes of Aldi, not one of the big four, but they say they're going to be doubling the number of stores that they have. Are you worried about losing more customers?
The job of any retailer is to get more customers, but more importantly is to keep the ones that they have. And You know, there are two other little developments that are happening in the world of retailing beyond just the economy and the challenge that that brings. One is a move to more convenience, shopping more locally, because fuel prices are so much higher than anyone ever imagined they would be. And the second is customers using the laptop computer and the smartphone to do their shopping. So we've launched in the first half 90 drive-through click and collect, so customers can order online, pull into the car park of the store, not even get out of the car, and will put their groceries in the trunk. Okay. 1,300 locations across the UK where you can go and collect your general merchandise online. So, you know, you've got to react to the convenience opportunity, more shopping locally, good for small supermarkets like those that you've mentioned, but also react to this new phenomenon of the internet. And we're going to be a world leader. We already are a world leader.
Okay,
you'll see more of that.
We will have to leave it there. Thank you very much for your time. That's
Thanks
Philip
very
Clark,
much.
Chief Executive of Tesco, on those results that profits are down for the first time in 18 years.
All right, Steph, thanks very much indeed.